Hi. Hi. Hello. Hi, good morning. Hi, hello. Sorry I'm so late. I was up very late. Being very normal about this game. Very normal about this game. I'm very normal about Undertale. Believe it or not, people can still get Undertale brain rot in the year 2024. Did you know that? Did you know it was possible? Let me say hi to everybody in chat before we get distracted. Hi, Ocean Snack. Hi, Ventrails. Hi, Breen. Hi, Six House. Hi, Shiny. Hi, VC. Hi, Bagel. Hi, Observer. Hi, Gloucester. Hi, Lobber. Hi, Damskus. Hi, Breen. Hi, Nonas. Hi, Nitty. Hi, Fishy Stick. Hello. Hi, Robert. Hi, Sippy Sup. Hi, Box. Hi, Joey. Hi, Shiny. Hello. Hi, Max. Hi. Sleeping after the first time beating Undertale for the first time. Yeah, true. Whoa. Hi, Ventrails. Hello. Hi, Gordo. Hi. Hi, my man. Hello. It truly was a Honda buggy. True. Yeah, you activated mine. I'm very fucking normal about this game. Hi, Lowski. Hi. Good morning, everybody. Hi. Hello. I woke up today and I was so tired and I was like, maybe I'll just take the day. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted to come hang out with you. And the first time I finished the Pacifist route, I was practically on the floor in a pool of tears. Hi, Lavender. Hello. Well, literally changed my outlook on life. A lot of the Undertale music comes on my video game Pandora, and they always bump. I've always heard the songs. Why do I hear Overwatch noises? You shouldn't. It's playing Hopes and Dreams by from Undertale. I don't know if it's too quiet right now. Slug finishing it means I can post more silly stuff that he will understand it. Well, now he understands Megalovania memes. I do, and I also realized that Megalovania. I learned a lot last night. So I looked into what one does, I think, when they've experienced the route that I did, out of curiosity, knowing what the other route is, right? And so I sought out that information. And all it did was reaffirm for me that it's not a route that's meant to be played. No, that route is not meant to be played. It's not there to be played. It's there for the person who cannot help themselves, right? To forces themselves to play the video game. To incredible length just to see everything that it has to offer, without recognizing what the cost for that is, and especially when the game begs you for it, begs you not to do it. Call you an inhuman monster when you go that route. And even then, it's not without its kindness, because it still believes you can change the entire way through. It begs you to stop. It begs you to stop the entire time you're playing it. I'm gonna tell you that not only did Matt Pat give the people that give the Pope Undertale that the Pope's Jester played Megalovania for him. It is also kind of sad that meme culture around Undertale became like that. That's kind of what I was going to get into. I kind of want to get into that, but I feel like I needed to establish my perspective on the other route first. It's a sledgehammer to the face of people who don't get it. Right. Because it's desperately trying to get you to understand what point it made in the first run, right? It's desperately trying to get you to understand the point it made the first time around. And the entirety of that second route is to re-insist upon that point, to tell you, please, for the love of God, do you understand the point yet? The reduction of Undertale to just Sans Megalovania sucks, honestly. That's kind of my I guess that's the short version of what I was gonna say. Genuinely super fan made Undertale content constantly. True. A lot of Undertale is learning about learning to let go. Right. And the entire point of the game is just to be kind. even in the face of cruelty that is subjected to you, to be kind. I honestly haven't looked into it, and I did have the impulse to try it myself once. I killed Toriel, cried really hard, and could not continue, and I haven't even wanted to see or watch or see it. And see, that's essentially what the game is trying to get you to understand. The era of no media literacy. Hi, Almec, hello. A lot of the reason I never played Undertale was the impression I got from the meme culture. And that's it's very unfortunate because I kind of had the same vibe, right? When it first came out 10 years ago, I couldn't care less. I couldn't have cared less. I was a very cynical person at the time too. And so while the meme culture dissuaded me from doing it, if I would have actually played it in the first place, I wouldn't have gotten it. It would have been lost on me. I think even 5 years ago, it would have been lost on me. I think even a year ago, it would have been lost on me. I think I needed to play it as who I am now. The Sans fight does not stand out as a particular combat experience because it's ridiculous, but pulling that out, separating it from the context of the route is sad. I think every instance of that route, specifically, not just Sans, but more importantly, Undyne, are meant to re-insist upon the point that it was trying to make in the first place. That it is trying to beg you to stop. And that when you are met with actual challenges, being Sans or Undyne, it's because you're not the hero. You're the antagonist. You have chosen to be the bad guy. You have chosen to be the antagonist in the game. And for that, you deserve to be ridiculed because you're not even a good fucking antagonist. You're simply there to be a senseless, violent, like, ghoul. Like, you're not there for any meaningful reason. You have no meaningful motivation. And that's why the characters tell you as such. And it's why it frames the characters that you're fighting as incredibly as it does, because they are the protagonists, because they are carrying on the hope and the dreams from the first playthrough, their hopes and their dreams from the first time around that you were supposed to be able to grasp, right? But you were just so insistent that you needed to see everything. And there's nothing to be seen, right? There's nothing to be seen. It's just a miserable, quiet, awful, lonely grind. It's frustrating. It isn't fun. It's not supposed to be, because that's the point it's trying to make to you. So again, I must say that it was that people's takeaway from that playthrough was that, wow, Sans fight hard. Wow, Sans fight hard. Wow, Megalovania, good song. It's just, I still don't think you got the point. I still don't. I still think you missed the point. And it's just very unfortunate that that's the case, that even still people don't get the point. But I think what's wonderful about that game is that there is never a point where you can't understand it. Even now. I think even now, I think you can go back and figure it out. That I think you can go back and figure out why is this fucking playing Minecraft music? Hello? No, don't do that. Don't do that. You can go back and figure out what the game was trying to tell you in the first place. Honestly, don't think I would have gotten it even a year ago. That is what Slug did in the last year. Max, I'm glad. Also, hi Jumbo, hi Dorangar. Think you need to be open to the experience. I think so too. It's just a cool fight, but in the context of the run preceding it, it's a punishment. It makes it Sans even taunts you with that so many times. I don't even think it's a cool fight. I don't think it's supposed to be a cool fight. I think it's supposed to be miserable and frustrating and aggravating. Another thing I find interesting about the bad route is that towards the end of it, it literally takes away control for the character, because you were never in control in the first place. You were driven by your fucking obsession with game culture. You're not playing the game because you didn't understand what the game was trying to get you to do in the first place. You're not playing it anymore. The second you choose to commit to that route, you've stopped playing it. You've stopped playing it. You've just auto-tracked your way into being the antagonist so that the game can continue to try and prove its point to you, to tell its message to you. Knowing it's at their finest hour before disintegrating against you in Genocide Run. All the main characters revealed to have a lot of fiber and backbone. And even then, I think even after you defeat them, you don't really defeat them. They persist in a way that you don't get to. Their memory persists in the original run. You have played a thoughtless, miserable run to prove something to yourself, and now you're left with the consequences of it. They've won. It doesn't matter that they're no longer there. They won. You lost from the very start. I honestly kind of wish Toby succeeded in making the game delete itself. I think it would have been wonderful. I think it would have been wonderful. And I do love the lengths at which it goes to make it so difficult to remove something like Kara. Because Kara is meant to be there as a reminder for what you've done. Hi, Archmage. Hello. Even though the bad route ending the Sans fight is noticeable, you made a depressed person that gave up on everything and is just passing through the motions. Try to act to stop you, even though he knows it's useless. But he hopes to change you, the person playing the game through frustration and decides to act nonetheless. True. Also, hi, Kala. And I actually love that. And I love that the way you can... What I will say of the alternate route is that it reiterates what the original route was, right? And it makes it that much more powerful. It makes it that much more better. Because there are notes in there that you can take away and you can say, oh, like the notion that Sans is the concept of apathy. You can pick up on that in the original playthrough, right? In the original playthrough, but the secondary playthrough kind of really, really drives that home. But apathy in the face of horrific violence, eventually you will be driven to act. Apathy in the face of kindness is a little bit easier. But even then, that's my favorite part about the first playthrough, is that you draw an apathetic character like Sans out of their melancholy. They are no longer trapped in this sort of cynicism, the same as Azrael was, the same as Flowey became, right? They had their own burden placed upon them by themselves, because they recognize that it's a loop, right? That at any point, any of this can reset, and it will, until you come along and prove that it can change. You make them believe in hope again. And I think that is the most powerful part of Sans's character. Not the Megalovania memes, not the wow boss fight hard, not the wow funny skeleton man. It's the notion that you can draw this character out of their deep cynical apathy with the capacity of kindness. Make them believe in hope again. Because that's the point of the fucking game. It's good to hear that. Honestly, I thought I was missing out on something by not seeing that route, and I'm glad to know that wasn't the case. Got that kindness in my system. Genuinely, Bean, you did it right. You did it right. You're not supposed to play that route. I'm happy to know that many people did get it, even if they weren't as vocal as the cynics. Right. That's what I learned last night, is that a lot of people did not like how those endings play out, how those endings force you to face the consequences of your actions. And to that, I say you didn't get it. Because even then, as it's trying to make you face the consequences of those actions, that even if you do the genocide route, and then you decide, I didn't want to do that, I want to go back, and I want to do the good route, I want to see everybody happy again, I changed my mind, you never really get to be able to experience it the way you did the first time. Because it is now stained by your decisions. It's now stained by the actions that you chose to take because you were so insistent on seeing everything. And that's what it's there to be. It's there to remind you that maybe you don't need to go see everything. Maybe when a game tells you that this is it, when a piece of media, when a piece of art says maybe the point is just to be kind, maybe that's enough, and it can be enough. There's a reason I never stand evil roots in video games, even for completionist's sake. There's a game called Oxenfree. I was obsessed with it as a teen. When I tried to do all the achievements and one of them required me to make every character unhappy, I just couldn't do it. Yeah. I gotta smile every time I drink one of these. True. Wow, Minecraft, yay. Yeah, I don't know why it did that. Like Dolly said yesterday, Undertale is a great example of games as art instead of something made to be played and gamified. Truly. Hi, Hag. Hello. The whole point of the game is that you have the choice to be good or not. The choice matters more than a single person could ever fully understand. It's forgivable if you make the wrong choice at the start, and it's very easy to learn to change your decision, like you and Dolly did. It takes a very unique kind of person to see it all the way through, either through a lack of empathy or stubbornness. And I think those two things, typically stubbornness, this sort of, the game says it multiple times throughout that run. You have the determination to see it through to the end. But what if you use that determination for something much more meaningful? Isn't there anything better you could be doing right now? That's what Sans says to you. That's what all the characters say to you. That's what Kara says to you every time you continue to boot the game back up. Isn't there anything better you could be doing right now? Haven't you learned your lesson yet? Because that's what the game is trying to do. It's trying to teach you a lesson. It's an annoying fight, but that's the same difficulty fetishism as Dark Souls culture during the time. And I don't know if that was exactly what it was criticizing, but I do know that it was criticizing game culture as a whole. That it was criticizing the concept that games need to be hard, that games need to be this gatekeepy, cultish thing that only certain people have access to. That is what the game is criticizing. Culture, the culture surrounding gaming. Like I said, the only things to come out of the genocide run that are worth anything are the story of Undertale and Megalovania. If you play the game, just do the hard killing stuff, you're missing a better story. And I think Megalovania is a great theme, right? For a long time, it was the only song that was on my Songs to Kill God 2 playlist. But it was because I didn't understand any of it. I didn't understand any of it. I didn't understand any of the other songs because I'd never experienced them. And now I have the context for the others. And now that I have the context for Megalovania, it's not the best song on the album. Far from it. It's a good song. It's unfortunate it was memed into oblivion. But I like it because it is a song that represents not just this cool battle theme like I thought it was, like a lot of people still seem to think so. It is a cynic's plea. It is a cynic's plea for hope. That is what that song is. It is a desperate struggle, knowing that there is no winning, because they might not be the ones to see the end of it, but they know that you won't win. They know that there's nothing waiting for you, and it is a desperate plea to get you to change your mind. It is a song that conveys hope to me. Hopes and dreams is better in my opinion. I agree. I'm reading chat on my screen right now. I'm catching up with chat. Sorry I'm behind, but I'm very normal about this game. The best song in the game is this. The best song again in the game is this. Battle Against a True Hero. This is Undyne's theme. When you face her in that route. Because this is the character that through sheer will alone, as a monster, was able to do what monsters are incapable of doing. Do the impossible. Will herself into being capable of having determination to stand against you, to try and stop you. Not just for monsters, but for humanity too. For the entirety of the world. For yourself, even. That is the most incredible part of that run. And Undyne is the best character in the game. Undyne is the best character in the game. And I don't just think that just because I made her Dolly. She is the best character in the game. Truly. I believed that by the end of my playthrough. But after understanding the other one, I wholly understand that now too. And fully believe that. Hi Mookie, hello. Hi Patch. Yeah, you turn into a one-note monster with the monsters grown into fully blown characters. Well, they were already fully blown characters. That's the thing too. They were already fully blown characters. Now now in that run, they are not just the fully blown characters they were. They're the characters that you don't get to experience because you don't deserve to. You don't get to experience their nuances, their what makes them fun, what makes them interesting. You get to experience them as any antagonist would experience a protagonist, right? You don't get to see the nuances of Cloud wearing a cute dress. You get to be struck down by him because that's all you fucking deserve. Because you're an antagonist. You're the villain. They won and you can choose if you want to be a part of that or not. Truly. Because you're allowed to win too. That's the thing. It's not a hopeless ending. The game is never about being hopeless or miserable or mean. It's about trying to get you to understand that hope was the point to begin with. Hi Eska, hi Gil, hello. Hi Drucky. One of my biggest issues with the Undertale community are people who insist that you need to do that run. Like, it does not sound fun to me. There are themes that I don't find worthwhile engaging, giving air to. People who insist that you need to do that run do not understand the point of the game. It's not fun. That run is not fun because it's not supposed to be fun. It's meant to be fucking miserable. It's meant to be fucking miserable because choosing to do that is a miserable fucking thing to do. To become callous and violent for the sake of it, just to see what fucking happens. That's all it is. There's no point in doing that. You deserve to be miserable because of it. Also, the call at the end of the neutral route has a lot of variants, like a lot. I saw a lot of those different variants. I did. I like the one we got. I know that a lot of people hate calling it the genocide route because that's such a heavy word, but I do think it's appropriate because that's literally what it is. You're going out of your way to kill everyone, leaving no survivors, and it's fucking despicable. It's not just going and killing the bosses, right? You have to kill every monster in every fucking area. You have to encounter every random encounter until every monster is fucking dead. And it takes forever. It takes 20 minutes at a time sometimes to just find the last one until the music slows to a crawl, until you are truly alone and left with the consequences of your choices. The game consistently tries to get you to stop doing it. Just even through the way the mechanics function in that route. Being a Comic Sans pun, the name Sans is also a perfect fit for the embodiment of apathy. That's true. I didn't even think about that, Nona. I'm still miffed that I missed like the entire True Pacifist ending. I gotta go back and watch the pod. I highly recommend it, Lazy. It is the best game I've ever played in my life. Undertale is the best game I've ever played in my life. I think it's the best game ever made. And I include the alternative route in that capacity because it's meant to be there to reiterate upon the original route. I think it is the best game ever made. Truly. Shouldn't have made the actions. Real. Also, hi, Bridgeface, who 1 foot outside time and space, so he uses that to assault you with a barrage of moves that literally have no telegraph. Yeah. It's not a hard fight. It's a fight that's supposed to get you to understand that this is a fucking futile effort. Hi, Roswords. Might be a reach, but all the way the battle themes are caught in a web of recurring musical motifs. But Sans Battle literally shares no motifs and has motifs that you'd only know if you play Toby's prior games. Kind of plays into that. I could see that. I love how Undertale and its spin-off sequels prologues, it's not clear the connection between Undertale and Deltarune and the other characters don't require you to do everything to see the whole story. A lot of other games require you to do different choices, different playthroughs. Undertale is one playthrough, and that's your ending. You face the consequences of the actions, be they positive or negative. Truly, you can let it be, or you can ruin it, and then understand why you should have let it be. Also, hi, Poshcat. I'm excited to see. I don't think I'm going to like Deltarune as much. I don't think I can. You know what I mean? I don't think there's any way Deltarune can possibly stand up to this game, and I don't expect it to. I'm going in expecting a victory lap. You know what I mean? A fun little reprise of some of the familiar characters, some new characters. A lot of the voices I got to do for this game were one of my favorite things about doing it. I've said as much to y'all in Discord, some of y'all in DMs who have reached out to me. I did not expect. I was kind of scared to play this. Not because I knew people were going to be really normal about it and potentially try and ruin it for me. but because
Hey,
hi
look, everyone,
Slice for being very
it's the
fucking
pizza.
normal. Spoilers still apply. Thank you, Dolly. Yeah, do not spoil me on Deltarune, please. Hi Slice, hello. I'm being very normal right now. All the things we talked about last night. But what I was gonna say is that playing this game in the year 2024, 10 years after so many people have already played it, multiple times even, have seen other people play it. I didn't know what I could bring to it. Truly. I didn't know what I could offer that hadn't already been offered to other people. And I came to realize as I was playing it, by the end of it yesterday, that what I had to offer was my earnesty with the experience. That I had never really fully experienced the entire game, and that I was able to share that with y'all. I was worried my voices wouldn't be, ones that people would be happy with, that they had a streamer that they watched that they liked their voices better, or that the voice that they imagined in their head the first time they played it made more sense to them. So that so many of you reached out to me and let me know that the voices I did for the characters were the voices that you will always hear them as is for a game that I consider my favorite game and the best game ever made, that I could have an impact like it on that for you. I don't really have the words to convey my appreciation. And it's why that's what I was getting at. It's why I'm excited for Deltarune, because there will be a reprise of some of those voices. That I know. I know some of the characters make an appearance. I don't know much about it, but I really, really enjoyed this game, and I really enjoyed what I was able to do with it and how I was able to experience it with Dolly, with my sister being able to be the Gurren to my logon, right? To allow me to drill forward in a way I wouldn't have otherwise, because I would have gotten frustrated and given up on it and bounced off of it. I was meant to experience this game yesterday, not any sooner, because I wouldn't have gotten it, and I wouldn't have appreciated it. And I'm glad that I was able to share that with all of you, and that it meant so much to all of you. I'm truly grateful. And I don't know if we're actually going to do anything today other than talk about this, but I kind of feel like some of y'all had the expectation that that was going to be the case. So it just, bear with me. I know I'm super late today. I know I'm rambling. But I want to indulge on how I feel right now. Thank you for experiencing that experience, sharing that experience with me. Thank you for experiencing it with me. Why would I want to get the bad of a VN? Completionist be damned. True. Thank you for the Spippy Stretch. Well, is this memory? That playing after Hopes and Dreams is very fitting for me talking the way I did. I'm very behind. Well, Undertale chooses a random number when you first launch it and has a bunch of secrets that only appear on specific numbers. So you could, I think once you finish the true ending, the best thing you can do is in that game is leave it be. I think so too. Hi Saiyan, hello, hi Kirby, hi. It's still an awesome song, but I associate it with Vriska and Homestuck more than Sans. And I never went to Homestuck, so. Hi Observer. Hopes and Dreams is so much better in my opinion, even in a vacuum compared to the rest of the OST. I would agree. I would wholeheartedly agree. Hopes and Dreams in a vacuum is better than Megalovania. That said, and I said it before, but now that Dolly's here, I'm going to queue up the actual best song again. That Dolly helped me understand. Because it is the best song, without the caveat of the vacuum. In a vacuum, Hopes and Dreams is the best song. There's nothing to win. Yeah, exactly. The part of the fandom that I found most annoying is and then Sans didn't give up and gives you an extra fight. Just did you miss the whole point of the fight? It's not you versus Sans. It's Sans versus you. His last-ditch effort, not yours. Your lost state is closing the game and never opening again, not dying in game. Right. And he begs you. He gives you the out. too. It's not a fight. It's him pleading with you. It is a desperate struggle. It is a desperate plea for you to stop. After even the true hero of that run failed to stop you. She knew that someone else would. Even if it was yourself. Eventually, you would understand. She knew that. He knew that. He didn't want you to have to go to the end to truly face the consequences of what you've done and be met with the horror show that you were going to be shown. To show how callous and miserable that you were going to be with what you'd done. He wanted you to stop. It's not a fight. It's not a fight. It's a plea. It's a plea. My favorite song is the Simple Music Box Undertale song. Still makes my heart swell every time. Oh, I love this entire soundtrack. Oh, trust me. Last night was a very normal night on the treadmill. Last night was when I got to Hopes and Dreams and realized that the name of it was Hopes and Dreams, I was very normal. I was very fucking normal. And that was before I got home and spent the rest of the night looking into all the extended things that I had not experienced prior. We had a very long night last night, chat room. Battle Against a True Hero lyrically drops the Tuhu trumpet at the peak. It's such a savvy composition. It's also important to remember that Megalovania is a recycled song. It's not even unique. The story you see through that path, the thing everyone claims is the highlight, it's not even from that game. It's not novel. It's not unique. You are turning away something beautiful for something you could have heard somewhere else. For something that you thought you wanted. You convinced yourself you wanted. I wanted to fight Sans. Why didn't I get to fight Sans? Nobody else. I fought everybody else. Why didn't I get to fight Sans? Because that's the point. That's not the point. You weren't supposed to fight any of them. You're supposed to save them. All of them. Including yourself. And that's why you don't fight Sans, because he doesn't fucking care. He recognizes you're not a threat. Not in a violent capacity. And so you, at the end of the game, save him the same way you saved the rest of them. By teaching him kindness. That is how every single one of those fights with the other bosses end. You don't fight them. You teach them to hope again. You teach them to dream again. You teach them to understand kindness in a way that they may have never known or have forgotten. And that is the exact same case with Sans. It is not about a fight. that is still lost on people is remarkable to me. Another thing about games, especially of the time when Undertale was released, that Undertale made fun of what the games had to be darker, edgy, and cynical. Right. It's a criticism of game culture. You know, it is a criticism of game culture in that the game should be difficult, that it should be cynical, that it should be edgy, that everything is hopeless, that everything is terrible. It's not those things. It's nothing. Those things are a very poor understanding of how to engage with media. Being dark and edgy doesn't make it good. And being earnest and hopeful takes bravery. It takes effort. It's difficult. There's challenge in the original run as well. It's not this naivete. You know what I mean? Like, it's not this naivete that the game is presenting you with. Just be nice to everybody and everything will work out. That's not what the game is saying. And at no point does it ever try and convey that, because it even fucking tells you that that is not the case. Verbatim at the end of it. But in the way that you experience the fights, you have to struggle in them to try and get the other character to understand the kindness that you're trying to convey while they continue to assault you. You have to be the one to take the blows, not them. And that makes it difficult. That makes it profound. And anybody who walks away from that saying that, oh, it's naive, again, didn't get the point, which I guess is, you know, the entire point of why the secondary run exists, to maybe make you get it at that point. You're going to have to try a little harder than that is such a good line. I fucking love it. I fucking love Undyne. Hi, Libby. Hi. Antagonists only view protagonists as one thing in their way. Yeah. And you, as Kara, say as much. Hi, Error. I also want to praise Papyrus. He's kind of the opposite of Sans to the end. Still believes he could do good to the end. He never loses hope. Oh, yeah. Even in his fight Even in your fight against him in the other route, he never stops believing in you. And that's what I love about all of the characters in that route. They are the embodiment of who they were in the actual route, in the true ending. They are elaborated upon. They don't change. They don't become something deeper than you would have otherwise experienced. They are there to further elaborate on what their characters were the first time around you met them, to hopefully make you try and fucking get it this time. Maybe now you'll understand that somebody believes in you, that somebody believes that you can be better, that somebody wants you to be better. Even the most apathetic, cynical person wants you to be okay, wants you to do better. That the boisterous, loud shonen character knows that it's not just about fighting, that it's about trying. And that is what those characters exist to convey in that run. Which is ironically the thing that plays before Undyne's fight. True. Let's see. Every single one. You have to do every single one, yeah. Slog for nothing of worth, yeah. Sans is without, truly. Hotlands 1 is the most tedious by far, so if you're able to do that, no shit, you one-shot Metaton. You've already shown you're not going to back down from being evil. True. And you deserve the ending that you're met with. Tangent conversation, but I'm a little obsessed with all the secret hints and background behind Gaster. I saw one thing about Gaster. You know how cooked we are, chat? When I watched all of this stuff and I had all of these thoughts and I listened to all of this music, then I was like, I'm going to watch a timeline video. And Dolly was like, so how's that brain rot going at like 3:30 a.m. for me? And I was like, I'm watching a timeline video, so we're cooked. We're cooked. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at, chat room. That's why we're doing this right now. A huge horror fan, it tickles my fancy. True. To expand on that, I think my biggest issue is that there was always this expectation as the right way to play Undertale. Many fans didn't let people experience it for themselves because they wanted people to experience what they did so much that they ended up making the experience worse. I think so too. And I think I have a little bit more empathy and understanding for the person who sought out the genocide end because they were told about the genocide end, right? You're an impressionable young kid. You just played this incredible game, or you've heard about this incredible game, and people are saying, hey, if you do the genocide end, all these weird, crazy things happen. And so you are curious, and you want to go see. And you're met with what you're met with, this miserable slog of a route, and you're met with this unsatisfying ending by design, right? And you're left to sit there and contemplate it. And maybe you don't fully understand it yet. Maybe you don't understand that that was the point, that you were supposed to be happy with the ending you got, that the reason you feel miserable is because you're a good person and you don't want to feel that way. That you could have left well enough alone. And if nobody would have ever told you about that in the first place, you never would have been interested in seeing it. I do have a little less empathy, but empathy all the same, for the person who didn't know it existed, who played the entire game first time around, before it exploded, right? Before it became the thing, this cultural phenomenon, before you had all these people talking about it, that you beat the game and you saw the ending and the game pleaded with you to stop, and that your response to that was to do it again and kill everybody. It's hard to have empathy for that person. I think they deserve empathy, but it's hard to have empathy for that person because you just did that out of the morbid curiosity, and you were the person that the game was trying to get to understand. You don't need to do that. You're not supposed to do that. And I just sincerely hope that that everybody who has experienced the game in whatever capacity they have finally gets it. You know what I mean? That's what I really, really hope for, is that everybody who has played the game, no matter what experience they've had with it, whether they chose to do that route out of curiosity out of callousness, out of completionist nature, that they get it now. Truly, was a breath of fresh air because it was truly blind, and I enjoyed every second of it. My favorite little detail about the ending is that they gave the main character their own name by separating Frisk from the name. Player chooses for themselves. They allow Frisk to have their happy ending after the player puts down the game. The only way for the player to continue playing is to become what Flowey saw them as. True, because you were meant to be done. You played the story. You played the character. You're done. It's interesting. This all sounds like my inability to engage with fandoms and game communities has actually served me well in this case. Didn't have my own feelings about this game tainted by others' feelings and misunderstanding. Yeah, there was this, from what I can tell, and from what I saw even before I had played this game and understood any of it, there was this belligerence with this game, specifically with the character of Sans and with the concepts of megalovania. You gotta experience, it's the hardest boss fight ever. It's so hard, bro. Like, just completely misunderstanding the point. Sharing it with this community just means I get to reinforce the good parts and the good points. True. Hi, Oppers. Hello. God, I'm so far behind. Please, I missed out on Undertale and Outer Wild as I'm waiting for Deltarune to be complete so I can finally be with it on one of the Zeitgeist Knowledge games. I haven't played Outer Wilds. From what I've understood, Dolly has told me I don't think I would like it. But what you offered is an understanding, your genuine firsthand experience in your voice. And I'm glad that it was something people were interested in experiencing with me. Streamer who voiced it better, that's you. Thank you. Kiryu and Majima is infinitely better than just Patrick and Skeletor. I'm glad. I'm really glad. Because they're not, I don't know how to put this into words, but the voices I do aren't the voices of the characters that are on the screen. They're far from it. You know what I mean? I'm not foolish enough to believe that my voice impressions are particularly that good, but they are my connection to those characters, and they evolve into their own characters of their own right. My Fluttershy voice isn't just Fluttershy talking about balls, right? My Fluttershy voice is Melody from SlarPG, and conveying all of her hope and her desire to be happy. My Fluttershy voice is Rikia from Yakuza, the only good character in that game, the only reason worth playing that game. Again, a hopeful, sometimes naive character. And now it's also Toriel, who throughout the entire game extends this constant capacity of warmthness and hope and patience. It's less about the voice I do, and it's more about how that voice resonates with me, especially as we get to go experience them in a different game. They're always going to be who those characters were in a previous playthrough, a previous game, whatever game that I experienced them with. It's why the Digimon Survive voices were so important to me, still are. It's why I think we were also normal about Taffy, why we were also normal about Minoru, because these characters experienced growth, and through the experience of that growth was me learning that that is the voice of that character that I was doing for them. And so I'm always excited to see when that character gets to have a reprisal, because it's not Fluttershy getting to come on and do that voice again, right? It's the voice that I do as Fluttershy voice for so many other characters getting to have another shot at being the hopeful, earnest character they've been so many times before. And I can't think of a game better than Undertale to truly represent that in the way that I got to use my voices, which is a lot to say. That makes me really happy that y'all like Kiryu and Majima, Sans and Papyrus, because It's not even, Kiryu and Majima. It's my attempt at a Joker voice, and it's my attempt at a Piccolo voice. But because I've done them so insistently for so long as Kiryu and Majima, they've become that of their own volition. You know what I mean? And now they're Sans and Papyrus. And I don't know. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to have been allowed to do that. And that y'all joined me for it. To me, what Slug had to offer was a fresh perspective. So many people that talk about the game or play the game have already played it to get a truly unique and new perspective. It's really nice to see also funny Slug voices. I'm glad. And I had a lot of fun. You offered us a complete new experience, Slug, one that didn't come with any previous baggage. And as someone who never liked Undertale because of said baggage, thank you, Slug. I get it now. That means everything to me. Because you're not the only one who said that. There are people who have been burdened by the baggage that came with this series, with this fandom, and that even I was for a very long time. And I'm glad that I was able to avoid spoilers as long as I did, because I think it allowed me to work through my preconceived notions of it and experience it in its truest form as what it was meant to be. And that I was able to share that with anyone else. As many of you as I have, but truly, if I was able to share that with just one other person, that means everything to me. That's why I do this. You know what I mean? That's why I wanted to be a streamer, to share those experiences, so that I'm able to do those things. That I was able to do that with something that is such an iconic thing culturally. That means everything to me. Also, but nobody came. There are no more monsters to encounter as a recurring line. Something multiple amalgams say, and Flowey says to you a couple of times. I caught that. A lot of echoes of things. And I think a lot of that, I'm sure there's theories that people have developed, but I think a lot of what you're experiencing in that route is what Flowey tells you they began to do out of sheer boredom. They're trapped in this game, and it's why they do what they did in the first place. They're lonely. They don't want you to leave. They're scared. And for a lot of reasons, Kara, for whatever reason, was a callous individual to begin with. They were the representation of what it means to truly give into cynicism and despair. To, even when presented with kindness by others, be them humans or monsters, that your takeaway is that you want to hold on to your grudges, to hold on to your anger, to hold on to the hate, when in reality, you should just let go. Just move past it. And I know it's not easy. I know it's hard. It's not as easy as just don't be mad or don't be sad anymore. But try to be kind. And Kara couldn't do that. And that is why Kara exists. To convey to you that so long as you continue on that path, you'll never escape it. As long as you continue to hate and be miserable and cynical, you will never, ever escape from that loop. The only way to break free from it is to be kind. Truly. That is the point of the game. And it's such a profound and important message that will shape the rest of my entire life. It's fun to see everybody's different takes on the voices in Undertale, trying to put someone down because you don't like their interpretation of the voices, some loser shit, unless it's obviously meant to be offensive in some way. Sure. Shigurin on our login until we pierce the heavens. Thank you, Dolly. True. Our drill is the drill that pierces the barrier and reunites the human world with the monster world. True. I love that, Oposhcat. I get rambling is good. It was a fun experience. I'm trying to catch up. Thank you for the spippy stretch. Oh, this is a classic glottal giving me spippy stretches during the middle of my rants. Very few things live up to the hype. Undertale is one of those rare gems that do. The Slug and Dolly run will absolutely stand out as a fantastic capstone experience that I have had with this game. It was my favorite game I've ever played on stream. My favorite game I've ever played. To be able to experience it with all of you and with Dolly, I'm glad I got to experience it the way I did, because I don't think I would have appreciated it nearly as much as I do had I experienced it any other way. I'm glad I was able to share it. And it's archived forever. So, I'm just so happy I could be there. I knew you had to have this experience at some point. At some point, but I'm glad it happened when it did. Thank you for reminding me why I love this game so much. I'm glad that I could do that. I'm truly grateful that I could. Because I don't think anybody should forget what this game means to them. Truly. I was here for it. I've been listening for a while. Hi, Dolly. Well, hi, Vreska. About to get emotional again just thinking about it. Oh, I've been on a roller coaster of emotions for the past, when did we unstream yesterday? I've been able to finish the game because some of it was spoiled in a real shitty way, and the fandom at large put me off of it. I really appreciated watching you listening play. I'm glad. So I got a bad true. His literal last move is trying to force a stalemate since he knows he can't win. Right. He knows he can't win, but he's gonna waste your fucking time. He's gonna waste your fucking time because what you're doing is wasting your fucking time in that ending. Voices breathed new life into the game for me and made me reconsider going back and doing my own full playthrough. I'm glad. Is Toby Fox because or despite the Homestuck? I'll leave that one to Dolly. I was very normal last night. I definitely didn't have an emotional breakdown. Oh, trust me, so did I. I was sobbing, deeply sobbing, multiple times as I came to understand the names of each of these songs, as I came to understand the importance of each of these songs. I had no expectations about the game other than that people think it's good. It blew me away how excellent it is, and you always make the voices so good that I feel like you were always meant to do them. You've made me cry to games more of the times I've been here than I've had all the time before I found you. Shiny, you're gonna make me cry. I'm incredibly grateful to have been able to share all of these experiences with you, and I'm excited to continue doing it. I don't know if we're gonna do anything other than yap about this today, but we'll get back to Yakuza on Friday, and we'll get back to Chicory next week if nothing else. It's like the opposite of Dragon Ball, true. I like the game's sense of humor too. Few games can manage to balance humor and purpose and horror in the way that Undertale does, and also make the humor timeless in the way that it is. And I think the only way a game can make humor timeless like that and understand how to convey that humor is when it recognizes what it's trying to do in the first place, right? It's not being hurtful. It's not being cynical. And there are so many games that tried to recreate what Undertale did that did not understand what Undertale was trying to do and just do exactly that. The humor that they put into the game is very dated and very cynical in its own capacity. And it doesn't age well because of it. It doesn't ring as true when you return to it or when somebody plays it for the first time a decade later. Undertale is a timeless game because it is earnest. And I think at the time, many people considered that earnesty cringe because the reality is that you have to be a little cringe to be earnest. You are going to do cringe things if you want to be earnest, and you have to be brave enough to do that. You have to be brave enough to be hopeful and to be earnest and to be kind because it's scary to put yourself out there like that. That's why the game is so good, because it did. It tried. And it succeeds in doing so. He isn't fighting, he's stalling. He doesn't even try to directly attack against you until the very end when he slams you against the combat box, and it shows he can't kill you there. Whether exhausted or not wanting to, he just can't. That's why he decides to go with his ultimate attack, because he figures most people will give up if they view it as hopeless. Sadly, he's so worn out, right? And even then, he's still trying to get you to fucking understand. It's very interesting to me as a piece of art that wants something from you. Art is so fluid and can be appreciated in so many ways, but Undertale has something to say, and that is integral to it. It is adamant that you will understand the point that it is trying to convey, and it leaves nothing open to a bizarre, broken interpretation that is ultimately just wrong. The point is very clear, because the point is very simple. You either get it or you don't. And you hopefully eventually do if you did it the first time around. Not everything will be okay if you're nice, but you should try and be nice regardless. You should try. And if you try, maybe others will too. We can't create a kinder tomorrow if we don't try and be kind, even when it's hard. And I think the game, again, is not naive in its understanding of that. The message is not naive in its understanding of that. And the line that really, 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 really stuck with me is when at the end, when you're told, don't kill or be killed. It's not as simple as that. It is simple. It's the simplicity of it is being kind. Just be kind as much as you can, however you can. But don't kill and don't be killed. And I think that is the most profound part of the game, because that is its plea before it spells it out in the credits, where Flowey says, okay, call it a day, leave it alone, you're done. That is its initial plea for you to take away the message that it was trying to convey to you in the first place. Undyne becoming a hero isn't something that isn't explored in the passive route. We learned it over time. Genocide, she has one chance to face you, and it's put up there front. She was a hero in the pacifist route too. Everybody is. They're all heroes. Because a hero isn't just somebody who fights. A hero isn't somebody who just doles out violence. A hero is somebody who has the bravery to be kind in the face of cruelty. And that is the point of the game. And that is the representation of Undyne's character and so many of the other characters as well. Slug, no? Yeah. No, little Slug boy, don't go into the Undertale fandom. Oh, I'm not going into the fandom. I'm not going into the fandom. I don't really go to fandom. Well, I say that, but I'm just I'm a tourist, you know what I mean? I'm just looking at all the things on the walls and being like, oh, you really didn't get it, huh? I hope you do now. That's what I'm doing. Gaster is essentially meant to be the extended backstory for Sans, but he wasn't really important for the rest of the game. It didn't add anything to the core experience, so he and his story were cut. That makes sense. Hi, Gopsy. Well, next thing you know, you'll be watching a video essay on file name theories. Can't bring myself to do a Legion run in New Vegas because, like, it would make me feel bad. I don't think I could play a mean run in Undertale. I don't go to Fallout, so I don't really know. But, again, also, hi, Pank. The entire point of the mean run is that you're not supposed to do it. Well, I fed them really late today, so I think I'm going to take lunch late today. The dialogue that hit me the most is the Asriel dialogue after the final pacifist route, where he says, things in the outside world are not as nice as here. There are a lot of Flowies out there, and not everything can be resolved by just being nice. But don't kill, and don't be killed. Me too, Kelma. That is the most... I love Asriel a lot. Asriel is my favorite character, because I don't think the things that he was compelled to do were out of malice. That malice, I think, was driven by Kara. And I think he also was just lonely and scared and didn't want to be alone anymore. I think he lost his sense of self. Both of them did. Kara lost their sense of self. Asriel lost his sense of self. And they became Flowey, right? And Flowey was the amalgamation of those two things. The duality of hope and cynicism. And the options that the game presents to you. I know, Dolly, I see this. If you need to go, just duck out. We'll figure it out. I might just end early today. It might just be a short stream about me yapping about Undertale. So don't feel like you gotta stay on my account. But I do feel like that's what Flowey is. They are meant to be the two souls that are combined and contained within the character. And that you, as the player, have the choice to follow one of those paths. Do you follow Asriel's path? Or do you follow Kara's path? Because there's a right choice. Genuinely. There's only one right answer. And I think the game continues to try and tell you that, even in the main run. Hi, Crash It. Hello. Hi, Rusted Bartender. Budunya. Welcome in. Well, thank you for the spip. Nobody did a... Oh, Glottal did a spip. There we go. Hi, everyone. Hello, if I missed you. Closest I've come to finishing a genocide run is beating Sans. I just wanted to fight him, and then I quit it and did another pacifist run. That makes me happy. It does. Because that's the point. You're supposed to quit. You're supposed to give up on it. You're not supposed to do it in the first place. And if you have the inclination to, it begs you the whole time to give up. And then you do. And then you've won. You won. You beat the genocide route because you gave up. That's the only way to win it. Is to not do it or to give up on it. And that makes me really happy. Also, welcome in. You may have missed my earlier message, but seriously, your playthrough makes me want to try and play the game again. Oh, no, I'm just really, really far behind. Can I just say that I was so happy that you instantly realized what the game was, that it didn't have to be combat-based game. That's why I love tutorial. I'm so far behind, and I am so sorry if this is anybody's first time here. Normally, I flow with chat pretty well. I keep up with chat. I haven't had a stun luck like this in a really long time. But I'm really fucking normal about Undertale. I want to read everybody's messages. I want to embellish on all my thoughts about it. I want to yap about it. That might be all we do today. I promise I'll get back to normal Slug streams on Friday if this is all we do today. So just sorry. But what I was gonna say is that's why I really love the tutorial fight. Well, the tutorial fight. I always call her tutorial by accident because that is what she is. She is patient. She is kindness. She is understanding. She is warmth. She gives you the opportunity to figure out how the game works. Because how the game works is a way no other game has worked before, and way no other game has worked quite like it after the fact. Not necessarily in terms of the mechanics, right? The mechanics are familiar, but what you're supposed to do. How you're supposed to progress through the quote-unquote fights. Because they're not fights. They're not meant to be combat. They're not meant to be something you're supposed to conquer. They are things where you're supposed to convey understanding to the other character. They are conversations. They are you and that character's conversation about kindness. And she gives you the opportunity to figure that out without any real penalty, right? You kill her by accident because you think, okay, well, she's not giving up. She's not letting me give up. Maybe I have to whittle her down. That's your immediate thought, right? I've played Pokemon. I know how this works. I've played RPGs. I know how this works. If I whittle them down, then they will have the capacity to give way into understanding. I will beat them into submission, into understanding that they need to accept my mercy. And that's not the point. That's not the point. And that's not the point of the game. And the game wants you to know that. So it lets you fail immediately. You hit her, and it kills her immediately because that's the point. You're not supposed to hit her. You're supposed to be patient. As patient as she is in that entire conflict. As patient as she is, you are supposed to be. You are supposed to be that patient with the other characters as well, who continue to try and hurt you as you try and extend them mercy and kindness. That is the point of that fight. And you said that you're glad that I understood it. Not only did I understand it, it was the same type of moment. Gurren has a lot of problems, right? Gurren has a lot of problems, and I've talked about this before. As somebody who's really fucking normal about it, and how important that story is to me. But even throughout all of those problematic elements, I say all the time, it doesn't pick up until episode 17, and I'm mostly memeing with that. Well, I'm actually not mostly memeing with that. I'm mostly truthful with that. It is somewhat of a meme. But there are moments throughout the entire early part of those first 17 episodes, there that are worth seeing, right? I think you have to experience the whole thing to appreciate it. And I say this to say that the first time I watched Gurren, that I finally kind of started to get it, was when they break out of the underground. Ironically, there's a lot of crossover between these two games, and I think that's why it's so important to me. When you break out of the underground, when they break out of the underground and they see the blue sky for the first time, Simon and Kamina, having never seen it prior, Kamina having a vague memory of it when his father took him up to the surface as well. It is meant to be inspiring. And when Toriel dies and you have the capacity to try again and you are allowed to spare her, and then Flowey tells you that he remembers, that was awe-inspiring to me, in the same capacity as the character seeing the blue sky for the first time. In that moment, I understood that I knew that I was going to be fucking normal about this game. In that moment, I saw that I was going to get it. That I was going to finally fucking get it. Why people were the way they were about this game. That was a long explanation to say thanks. Thanks. I'm glad I got it initially too. Fandoms are always wretched, and while a lot of AUs aren't antithetical to the message, the whole sand-centric universe kind of is. Oh, sure. Outer Wilds is a great game, but it would not be very slug-friendly. Lots of puzzle solving. Yeah, I don't think I would like it. Think you'd like the story of Outer Wilds. It's one of those most figure-it-out-yourself type games around. Yeah, I don't think I would like that. Hi, Soundbolt. I would have to have a Dolly to pilot it for me. I don't think Outer Wilds is a game you'd enjoy playing. The neat bits that might be harvested would ruin the gameplay frustration. Right. But I think the same could have been said for this, too. I don't think I would have enjoyed the gameplay elements, right? The combat. There's an element of localization of the voices one gives characters, so you always put something of yourself in the characters, no matter if the character or script isn't yours. I like that interpretation of it, Zaffy. Also, hi, Zaffy. I like that interpretation of it because that is what I do. That is what I do. I bring aspects of who I am to those voices, those characters. Influenced, obviously, by something I've heard prior, but also the way I feel. You know what I mean? She's in good company, Fluttershy. Oh, you better believe I'm adding every Undertale character to their slots on the wheel. you better believe. Hi, Joseph. Welcome in. I'm good. I'm yapping about Undertale. Undertale, possibly the most hopecore experience piece of media to ever exist. It's also the best piece of media to ever exist. Still call your voices by their survived names. Right. And it's because of the I don't know, the magnitude that we got to, the amount of time that we spent with them and the amount that we got to see them grow. It just makes them resonate that much more. And so every time I get to do them again, they're who they were the first time around, right? Because they're not, my Minoru voice isn't Minoru, but it is, because that became its own character. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I think it makes sense. All those characters build upon each other and create variations of the voice, like how Slorb voice has evolved as you've given it to different characters. Right. And Slorb is a very, very wacky entity at this point. But yeah, they can build upon themselves and become something wholly different from what they were conceptually in the first place. It's like all the different avatars looking down at each other down the line. Exactly. I love it. Toward the new one. Because ultimately, that's what it is. They ultimately form a singular concept. All those avatars staring down the line towards the current avatar, whoever the current Fluttershy is, whoever the current Slorb is, they are all the concept of Slorb. You know what I mean? They form that concept. Open world puzzle game that is about finding connections with others and persisting through any challenges the galaxy could throw in front of you. It is absolutely beautiful, and I would recommend it to anyone, but not you. It's not your genre, and the method of experience of the message would make it an uncomfortable experience. Undertale is played by Dolly, though. Absolutely perfect. True. Also, welcome in, Nerdy B. Hi. Like, just imagining all these characters sharing the same voice around a dinner table. I love it, too. I love the idea of them hanging out together. Your voice choices are perfect for everyone. We're perfect. Thank you, Manhunter. Hi, Manhunter. It's telling that the very last chance you have to back out of genocide is after Sans is killed. Because who is left? A king who can't see you for what you are, and a desperate child who wants to live that he kills his father. So a child so desperate who wants to live that he kills his father to prove that he's still on your side, begging you, even using their original face and voice before crying, for you to not kill them. Right. You've extended all of your options at that point. It really was like experiencing the game for the first time. It rewards you by brutally killing him without your input. Your reward is that you possibly wanted. Your reward that you possibly wanted is taken away from you. You don't get your satisfaction. It gives you the ending that realistically happens. Azrael gets the most brutal death, and you are forced to watch it. But worst of all, you influence someone to become as evil as you. You influence their best friend, the person who ultimately killed their best friend just for you. Yep. And you're left to sit there with the consequences. I'm really happy that you and Dolly were how I got to experience that story for the first time. It's wild to me that there were so many of us who had never experienced it for the first time up until I did. But I'm glad we all got to experience it together. It's almost heartbreaking to see you assign Slug to Kara, but how were you to know? But Kara is not Slug. Kara could never be Slug so long as they never change. Slug is a name I could only attribute to a slightly raunchy, purely hopeful, and headstrong individual we see on screen. I think I understand the sentiment, and I agree. I thought about that in the aftermath too. I was like, well, I'm not Kara, but I think that's the point. I am Kara. You know what I mean? I think we all are. I think we all have the capacity to be, because Kara is meant to represent, like I said, cynicism, what it means to give into despair. And I know we've all, at some point in our lives, given up, felt like we need to give up, have lost the capacity to hope and dream. And that is what Kara represents. And the entirety of the game, when you play it through the full way, when you allow Azrael's kindness to conquer Kara's apathy and cynicism and hatred, that is you reminding the Kara that is you to never give up on hope, to never give up on kindness, to never give in to hatred, to never resign yourself to being cynical and miserable. I think that's why the game forces you to do that. Why it tricks you into believing that you're naming your character, not Frisk, right? I think that's why it does that. To be this subtle little reminder, a subtle little indicator that you are capable of doing that too. So be careful. Don't kill. And don't be killed either. Protect yourself. But also be kind. I think that's the point of it. And it took me a minute to work through that last night myself, because that was my initial takeaway as well. Thank you for sharing with us, Lucky. Thank you for experiencing it with me. When Azrael talked about Kara on that mountain, it was almost immediately apparent to me why they were up there, and they'd truly given up on ever trusting anyone. I like that Toby went this far with showing Kara and you on this path. Show it's possible for anyone to be Kara, but it's possible to not be. And I like that the game doesn't say anyone will strictly cling to one path. I like that too. And that's why I think even if you play through the entire genocide run and you're met with the miserable fate that you are, you can still be better. You are shown Kara in the purest form because it's a mirror. You are looking at a mirror at that point, and you don't like what you see. You're repulsed. You're horrified. You're frustrated. You're annoyed that you spent all this time for that to be shown a monster, a jump scare. That's the point. Why did you do it? Be kind. That's the way to win. Not just the game, but in life as well. Because life is hard and full of choices that affect us. But we could still come out not necessarily better, but just different. More hopeful, more all around ourselves. Truly. And it's influenced by the people we meet, by the friends we make, by the people who give us different perspectives that we otherwise wouldn't have. While the way we can experience how they've seen the world through their eyes, and we can share that with them as well. Our own experiences. Community, right? A collective understanding of the world and a collective extension of kindness between everybody involved. You could end up like Kara, but you could also end up like Frisk. Yeah, Frisk is the antithesis to Kara. And I think a lot of people call Kara the antithesis to Frisk, but I think Frisk is there to be somewhat divorced from the player character in the way that they walk off into the sunset at the end, independent of you. They are a vehicle for you to understand that you, as Kara, can be better. When I first played it at 13, I think I didn't truly get it, but as time went by, I started understanding it more and more. Your stream feels like the culmination of all those experiences to me, putting it all together and fully internalizing it. I'm grateful that I could convey that, because I get it. Had I played it 10 years ago, let alone had I played it when I was 13, I absolutely wouldn't have gotten it. It would have been lost on me. And I would have gotten things about it as I went on, same way I did with Gurren. I experienced Gurren when I was much more cynical and naive, and it did resonate with me, but it resonated with me in echoes, right? The further it went on. Not to say that I'm the most, media literate I'm ever going to be, but I'm glad I experienced Undertale now, rather than 10 years ago. Me cringe, the cynicism leaving your body. True. Hi, Danny. Hello. Kara's not evil. Evil would mean they had a plan to hurt others with the intentions to harm. Did they formulate one? Yes, but what they planned was out of desperation. They are a victim. Do they represent what you must not do? Yes, but they aren't evil. They are hurt very deeply. In the end, you are a child that went to Suicide Mountain for a not happy reason, from what Azrael tells us, and personally, I feel sympathy for them. I want them to get better, and I hope they did with the good route. And that's what I was kind of getting at, is I think they can. You know what I mean? If you follow through with their intentions, right, their plan, if you follow through with what they wanted to do in the first place, then you've given them what they wanted, and there's nothing to be gained from it. It's hollow and pointless, and you're left with nothing, emptiness, inside and out. And that's the point. Because the way to save them, the way to save that character, is the same way to save Azrael, to set them both free. Hi Kane, hello. I keep thinking about Burger Pants. I love Burger Pants too. And I love that a character as goofy, silly as that can have as much relevance in a story like the one I'm talking about. I was so close to bawling out loud yesterday. I had to look away and catch my breath so many times while watching the ending yesterday. Oh, I was sobbing on stream. I'm so glad Undertale hit you in the head like a brick. It's such a good game. True. It's full on sobbing for like 15 minutes. I think having it voice made it hit even harder for the first time. It's raining somewhere else. True. Hi, Slug. Hi, chat. God, that's so real. You better start believing in fandom, Slug, because you're in one? I guess so. I'm not a tourist. I'm merely fandom spelunking. Yeah, true. Well, like any other tourist, just don't look too deep at everything on the street. True. He's not feeling good. Bruce, he didn't eat his breakfast. And I fed them pretty late, so I'm giving them a little bit longer. He didn't take his medicine. That's why I'm also kind of giving him some time. Sorry, Raj just got home chat room. Well, hi Fizz. I tried to do the genocide route, but just because of completion's sake. But then I kept feeding me my teeth, so I gave up. You won then. You did it right. I soaked a couple of tissues, wiping away the tears and boogers. True. The genocide run being an option is what gives you your choice. Gives your choice of kindness meaning. The pacifist run was the only option. Wouldn't have been your choice, right? You have the capacity to choose. And even if you choose wrong after the fact, you can choose to do better the next time. I don't think you'll see this. I see it, Dolly. I don't even know if you're still here. Being soulless removes a lot of filters. True. Being alone does a lot to an individual. True. Bye, Roswords. Thanks for hanging out. Undertale Yap stream. Let's go. Also, hi, everyone. Hi, 5 Minute Jelly. Hello. Yeah, we are yapping today. I feel like I'm catching up. Lie. I really feel when Azrael was clearly speaking to us directly that, why are you so nice to me? Among other things. I just bawled my eyes out, but then I was calm, and it was a calmness I hadn't felt in a long time. The want and need to persist for better times, for times of togetherness is a strong one. That's how I felt too. I was a little surprised with myself yesterday when I wasn't belting out Gurren speeches. You know what I mean? As I'm one to do. But I had the realization after the fact. after I was left with this sense of peace, as I started to experience the soundtrack and understand the titles and reflect on my experience with the game, is that because there wasn't an enemy, there wasn't a villain, there wasn't this thing that needed to be killed. You know what I mean? There wasn't an anti-spiral to destroy. It didn't warrant a current speech. It warranted patience and kindness and hope and love. And I think that comes with a sense of humility. And then I realized why I wasn't as boisterous as I normally am in that type of situation after the fact. And all that to say, I felt the same. A profound sense of peace. A very, very profound sense of peace. That has extended into now. Friday's going to be Undertale stream, the brain rot part. I think that's how this is going to go, Kella. I think when I'm done yapping, I think we're going to call it a day. And I'll just leave this as Undertale, the epilogue. I think that's a good way to do it. Azrael does say he was literally incapable of feeling love as Flowey. Right. He didn't, not for lack of trying. He wanted to. And that's why he wanted to be saved, right? He begs you to save him in so many different ways. And then thanks you when you do. Zargi on purpose. Yap away, we are here for it. Share the moment with everyone. I'm glad. I'm glad that I get to experience this the way I am. That I get to share the things I've been thinking about all night. What kept me up all night. How Sluggy always is, but it is a fundamental part of who he is. Consider being here for it a little treat. Thank you, Bean. Every step of the way in the genocide run tells you should stop. There's a line of dialogue that's like, you're not doing this because you want to. You're doing it because you have to. Right. Sans even says it. And it was a very good line. Just because you can, you have to. That's the entire point, right? That is your final warning. That, do you get it yet? Do you get it yet? Before you will be met with the ultimate, do you get it yet? Right? I literally did something off the cuff. I beat the pacifist run totally when I extracted the save data and put it in a folder that I only lost when I had to reinstall a bunch of stuff because Microsoft decided to push OneDrive. Then I grabbed save data for the Undyne and Sans fights. Oh, that's an interesting way to do it. Embellish away, gush your fill on this wonderful experience, this genuinely generation-altering, world-altering piece of media. There are so many people who don't think the same after this game, and I finally fucking get it now. It's really nice hearing you yap about a game you have so much love for while I learn to knit. Oh, Laver, that's very sweet. Hey, it's all good. I've truly enjoyed being here. Lots of good vibes, and the chatting topic is very intriguing. Welcome in, Nerdy B. I'm very hope core and hope pilled, but normally I'm a lot more fucking uncouth and what's the raunchy and obnoxious with my streams. This is a rare treat, like Bean said, and I'm glad you're enjoying it. The way you defeat enemies is learning what makes them tick and who they are. Right. And meeting them where they are and having fun with them, trying to have fun with them. It's why the Metaton fight is so salient to me. The others, some of them are a little bit more solemn and a little bit sadder and a little bit more, I don't know, aggressive. Undyne, for example, Toriel is sadder. But I like Metatons a lot because how do you reach Metaton? How do you extend kindness to Metaton? Meet him where he's at. And that's putting on a great show. And I think that's incredibly wonderful. I think that's really fun. Hardly my favorite moment, but definitely it'd be hard for me to pick a favorite moment, I guess. It's still important to see Simon live his life. It's not Gurren without it. True. Me playing every indie Yarling for Slug so he can enjoy them. True. As you should, really. True. I do really appreciate it. At the end of the game, it says you can go back to after you fight Flowey. There's always another chance to make this right, to be with the people and to discover them. I really hope for those people that played it, it showed them that they can make connections with people, given the right effort, opportunity, and luck. The thing with that, too, though, is that after... Oh, wait. Let me see. I really appreciate that at the end of the game it says you can go back after you fight Flowey. There's the original ending. Yes, I agree with that. I thought you were talking about the genocide ending. He brings a real Majima energy to the skeleton that chat really enjoys. True. Me to Slorb. True. Putting a bit of yourself in the voice builds onto the experience, and it's one of my favorite things that I get to do on this stream. It's why I like playing games that don't have voices, and if they do, I typically turn them off because I like doing them myself. Dolly is such a games player. She's a gamer. Well, thank you for the spiffy stretch, Glottal. Part of me wants to share my thoughts and feelings, but an even bigger part of me just wants to keep enjoying your and chat's thought. I'm curious to hear them, because honestly, probably once I start running out of things to read and embellish upon, then that'll be it. You know what I mean? Reading life into characters is fucking magic. It's so much fun. I adore doing it. You have the capacity to be exactly. We've all done things we aren't proud of. Exactly. And that's not what defines you. You can be better. I really love how normal I have become about the flying pony I've never actually seen the source material for. Now she's become inexorably linked to some of my favorite video game characters and moments of all time. Me too, Fishy Sticks. I've watched the source material, but only 2 seasons, and I hardly remember any of it at this point. And she was hardly my favorite character when I was watching it at the time, but something about doing my version of her voice really resonated with so many of the characters that I have subjected her to. And I don't know. I can't imagine Rikia without that voice. You know what I mean? And I can't imagine Toriel without it either. I didn't think about that. Thank you, Slug. Of course. Kindness doesn't always win, but you should be kind anyway. I think so. I think another thing that Asriel said that touched me was, I can't hold all these souls inside me, because the fact that it just mirrors the length someone with that emptiness and want for belonging go to be someone else, even if that person doesn't make them happy. But connections with others, even if it doesn't directly nullify the pain, can help anyone feel life is worth living. I think so too. You can't wear masks forever. You can't be all these different versions of you to try and make everybody like you for different reasons. You just got to be yourself. And you got to be kind to yourself too. Asriel didn't know how to love anybody anymore, let alone himself. And you, through your profound kindness, even in the end of infinity itself, you remained kind. And that shattered through not only the barrier to the underground, but through his inability to understand love anymore. And you taught a being incapable of understanding love how to love and hope again. That's how powerful kindness is. That's the point of the game. This game doesn't have anyone I truly call evil, even Kara. I would agree. For all their abuse and manipulation and homicidal tendencies, ultimately wanted to help monsters. Even Flowey is a traumatized child who internalized the wrong lessons and couldn't cope with his newfound lack of empathy. Every character is mostly just lashing out. The only one who could truly be evil is the player. I agree. You are the only one with the capacity to choose to be evil, and even then, you're not truly evil because nobody really is. You can always do better. And the game says as much. You can always choose to stop where you're at and start to be better, start to be kind, start to be nice, start to hope again. That's my favorite part of it. There's no bad character. That's why I didn't do a Gurren speech. There was no evil entity to destroy because nobody in that game was truly evil. It was just people who needed to be understood and heard. Burger Pants doing the genocide run is like, why do I always get the freaks? Me working retail? True. Hi, Diosu. Well, the one funny part of the genocide run is when you threaten Burger Pants, he just says, I can't go to hell, I'm all out of vacation days. What I find so profound is that Burger Pants, a character who is, from all intents and purposes, a joke, serves such a fundamental role as the provider of health items for you so that you can continue to persist, that you can continue to take the hits. And there's a level of self-awareness that he has at the end that makes me happy. He is doing it in a self-depreciating way, but he is saying that, well, I feel like I played a role and I want to believe that. And that's the first step to being kind with yourself. You know what I mean? It's the first step on the road to being kind to yourself. To recognize that maybe I did do something. Maybe I am worth being here. Maybe there is relevance in my participation here. And even in the genocide route, he holds the same heroic stalwartness that the others do. The turtle shopkeeper, that one really hit me. He really, really stares you down and tells you to get fucked. He's one of the earliest indicators that you should turn back and stop, and that you have no intention to stop. That his lack of fear makes him a hero, despite what he says otherwise. And I feel the same way about Burger Pants, that he is a hero because he's not fucking afraid of you. He's not fucking afraid of you because you're just a fucking person wasting their time on being callous and miserable. He might be miserable behind a fucking counter working a retail job, but he's better than you. And I love that. That makes him a fucking hero. And that makes him an incredible fucking character in that route. Makes him an incredible character overall. Also, a part of me was like, damn, you get vacation days? True. Fortunately, there's evil in this world. We fight when we have to, but try anything and anything else first. I agree. Right. Would it be so simple that people could extend this kindness, understand the kindness that was extended to them, and let it just be that? That said, you should never lose sight of that kindness. Even when you have to protect yourself from being killed, don't lose sight of that kindness. Don't become callous. Don't become hateful. And don't become cynical. Trust me, as somebody who spent a long part of their life doing it, you don't get anything out of it. It's not worth it. There's nothing to be gained. That's why I think I understood the whole purpose behind that secondary route and what Kara is. You know what I mean? I did that already. I already did the Kara route in my real life. You know what I mean? Not, without the murder, but with the ideological concept of, killing one's own joy. You know what I mean? Burger Pants also it's a very important concept. No matter how small a contribution may seem, no matter how mundane, it can have a significant impact. Exactly. And his ability to recognize that is this first step to being kind to himself. It's very meta to lose to give up on Undyne. In my opinion, true. To your point about that other run, you could still stop. Even after you see yourself as this non-violent version of yourself with the MC, you still not play the game anymore. But you still have to live with what you did. Because ultimately being kind means responsibility for your own actions. Exactly. Kindness itself is even that of fighting when needed. Because were you to not fight, Asgore would have gone through with his plan. True. And it's why I like that the game punishes you, quote unquote, with even if you abandon your genocide route, right? You delete your save file, you start over, you do it right, you get to the end, and whether you go off on your own and you get a picture of yourself with all of your friends' faces crossed out, or whether you go stay with Toriel and you wake up to be met by Kara's face where yours was supposed to be, staring back at you. It's a reminder. It is a reminder to be responsible with your choices and your actions. That you can't outrun what you've done, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't continue to be kind and try. That so many people got mad about that. I get it. I get it. I don't think they had the capacity to understand it, but I hope they do now. Yeah, because you fought him, and unfortunately had to kill him, greater destruction was avoided. Why do I always get the freaks? True. There wasn't a villain, there was hopelessness. Exactly. And the way you win is to present hope to a hopeless world. Undertale is a good flip side of the coin to Gurren. Gurren is about fighting as hard as you can to protect what you love. Undertale is about being as soft and kind as possible. I agree. And I think the two of them together shape my ideology and my identity at this point. I think kindness should always be the first thing that we try and operate on. I think kindness should be what we try and always extend to others. Good Yap stream. I'm glad y'all like it. Thank you for the spippy stream. Keep saying I'm almost caught up, but then y'all start posting more. Not that I'm complaining. I wonder what the next Monday's game will be. Well, Deltarune. Probably. We're going to play Deltarune. And then after that, I don't know. But also, hi, Maya. Hello. Where's the sans line for doing all the neutral routes? Joking. True. Well, underpilled and tail maxed. True. He's usually way sluttier. True. Can one go one stream without peanut? Slug, I'm doing my best. Uncouth, can anyone just be plain couth? I'm doing it right now. Well, we love our Slug when he is equally hope-pilled and unhinged. It's why I stayed here after the first discovering Slug. A posh cat. I'm glad you did. Well, you got a Manch's freak. True. And right now my freak is being hope core. Yep, and honestly, that and Papyrus might have been the moments where I'm like, okay, maybe there's another way through this game. Right. Maybe it doesn't have to be like this. A short but sweet sluggy stream. True. Well, maybe you'll be even more normal about Deltarune and the messages and stories in those games. Maybe. I'm. This is not to say that I'm like, yeah, I think it's gonna be a step down. Like when I said like I don't think it's gonna be as good as Undertale. Maybe it will be. I don't know. Maybe it'll be better. I don't know. It's hard to imagine a game being better than this, but I didn't also expect a game that came out 10 years ago that I never gave the time of day to become my favorite piece of media that I've ever experienced. So who knows? I'm always open to, I'll try anything once, you know what I mean? And I'll give anything a shot. Hell, I've played countless games on this stream that I wanted to love and that ended up disappointing me in profound ways, the way this game made me love it in a profound way. I'm excited to see what Deltarune has to offer me, especially after experiencing what Undertale showed me. So Dareplane, I remember so many of these different characters by sight alone. True. Fluttershy tutorial was so great. It was my favorite. Hi, Slug Chat, what are we talking about? Hi, Tiberius. I'm yapping about Undertale. Life, the universe, and Undertale. True. You got that brain rot bad. True. Wanted to add this. It sounds like you did play Genocide Route. I didn't just... If it sounds like I did, I just read about it. Gotcha. I'm the type of person who loves seeing people share their interest and love for things in an unapologetically authentic way. Sorry, Miss Slow Typer. You're totally fine. I think you'll fit in here perfectly well because that's the kind of vibe I get on, you know, even when, hey, if you like Digimon, I'm really fucking normal about Digimon. Had today been a normal day, we probably would be playing the Digimon card game right now, but that'll be probably Friday. Hi, Gort. Hello. Live, choose, niceness. True. Burger Pants has the most unique phases of the game, I believe. I think so too. Also, hot bats. Respect your food service workers. Sometimes all people need is someone to listen to them and show them how to do the same for others. Kindness, right? Kindness and patience. Slug. Oh, you saw the stuff? Hi, Venetrix. Yeah, I'm really fucking normal. Now remembered what the player can do to the snowman in the Genocide Route. Oh, I witnessed. And it's just callous. It's careless. It's senseless. You're a senseless, violent demon. And you deserve to be treated as such. Until you choose to stop. Burger Pants is such a good character. Even if he's a joke character, he still has depths beyond his awful retail job. True. And it's what I loved experience about him. Having no true evil is not something that comes naturally in modern storytelling, but it is an incredibly important trope. Still remember when people made Haig jokes after the She-Ra finale, completely missing the point and message of the show. Yeah. It's frustrating when there's a lack of media literacy, and whether that lack of media literacy is just that, or whether it's for the sake of making the joke in itself, right? Because you wanna throw out the zinger. It's just punching down. It's just being cynical. You're just failing to grasp what was trying to be conveyed to you. Whether it's She-Ra or fucking Undertale, you know what I mean? It is you are missing the point. It doesn't need to be memes and jokes, you know what I mean? You can be earnest. You can be cringe. Be kind. Be hopeful. Be nice. It's okay. You're allowed to. You dug into it and we're talking about it, yeah. Coupling this with what Gerson says during that route earlier, you could argue Burger Pants by stalling you in the shop dialogue allows for some monsters to get safety before you can get to them. True. Turtle staring you down is like you don't even know why you're doing this, do you? Sort of feeling. Right. It's your first moment where you're supposed to really contend. You know, I say the first. There's a lot of moments. But it's one of those moments where you're really supposed to contend with, like, why are you doing this? Why? You do realize there's no, just to see what happens. Okay. That kind of sucks, bro. Maybe you shouldn't do that. Sometimes you encounter a Kara, but never stop being a Frisk. True. Even after all of that killing, all of that, what you're left with but a sad existence by yourself, where the people that could have helped you can no longer help you. Yeah, nobody came. Becomes true. Don't give into that self-fulfilling prophecy, right? And you know, even when you isolate yourself to the degree that nobody came, you can still go out and seek others. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what you as Kara do. People continue to no longer come, right? And you continue to seek them out, not to find hope or camaraderie or community, but to strike them down, to make them as miserable as you are, to make them feel as hopeless as you do. And all of them look you dead in the eyes as they disappear and tell you to get fucked. You will not take away their hopes and dreams. The hopes and dreams that Frisk protected in the original playthrough. And I think that sentiment that you can seek people out, people who will not buckle under your threats or under the concept of dread that you have brought, they will be there to try and help you. If you want it, you have to want it. You have to want to be better. You have to want to be kind to be able to accept that kindness. And I think there's so much to be taken away from that game that could really shape your mentality with how you engage with this world. I know it did for me. And of course, killing can be an analog to cutting out the right people or even cutting out yourself. True. I think Kara did just that in the canon storyline, right? Where they tried to turn themselves into a weapon ultimately. A bit more pragmatic, there are evil people in the world, but they are the vast minority. There are people that have been misled and refuse to listen to truth, but they are not really evil. It is a very small minority. You can do so much before fighting. It is literally the last option. There's so much you can do before it. I think that's very well said, Max, and I like that sentiment. One thing I like about the Root is how much it tells you about who the people of the underground are deep down. Resilient and surviving. Unbreakable. You know what I mean? Even in the face of a careless, callous murderer who can't be reached. Despite everybody's best efforts, they don't give up. A reminder that you did what you did. Yeah. Thank you for the Spippin Strum. Deltarune immediately. I can't wait. I think that's the plan. I don't know. I'm going to have to talk to you about Deltarune, but I already know what you're going to say. Next Monday will be Deltarune. Okay, Dolly. Slug, how far are you behind? It's 2:37 Slug time. It's 2:45 my time right now. 2:45 Slug time. So not that far behind. About whatever that is, 8 minutes. Well, I get it for completionists. Sometimes you get that desire to experience everything, but Undertale is not a game where you expected or wanted to experience it all it has to offer. And again, I posit that the entire reason beyond conveying the message of the game was also to criticize game culture and the sentiment of a completionist. The sentiment of this culture that persisted at the time and still does, that gaming, you're only a person, you're only a gamer if you do all of these things and check all of these boxes and follow through all of these things, and you don't, if you're callous and cynical and your game is miserable and unfun and difficult. I think all of that game and everything about those roots and the time-wasty completionist route is meant to criticize that itself. This game changed my life, but I didn't have the media literacy back then, and watching you play with your media literacy skills helped me realize things I didn't see before, and I'm glad. Again, I wouldn't have had I've said it multiple times this stream, I wouldn't have had the capacity to grasp it 5 years ago, 10 years ago, but I do today, and I'm glad I did. Came for the unhinged, stayed for the hope. True. Very close to catching up. I showed up to this combo too late. I mean, you can go watch the VOD. Still doesn't understand why I haven't and won't do the bad route. He being way more completionist in that respect. you know, I don't know your brother, so not to speak ill of him, but he may not understand why you haven't, but I would say that in that, he doesn't understand the point of the game. Every message here right now deserves the time of being read and responded to. I said it does make me think of Luke from Star Wars, his whole character. I could feel like the sequels did him so dirty. I don't want to get into Star Wars. Probably won't be as good as Undertale, but I hope that you will enjoy it for what it is and what it does in isolation from Undertale. To compare anything to Undertale would probably be unfair. That's kind of my sentiment, and that's what I intend to try and and I'm sure Dolly will give me the primer I need. You like cards? Play cards with us. True! Well, Slug DCGO Friday. It's a date. Real. Well, hi, Slug for the future. Have a spip. Thank you. Well, I just like to ask to get a sense of how stunlocked he is. Oh, true. There's so many points. Johan, thank you for the resub. Thank you for the 30 months. Thank you. Big 3-0. Over the hill. Let's go. Thank you for the 30 months. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Hi, I'm yapping about Undertale. Hi. Fairly clear. There are many points of the genocide route that are just horrendous. Very clear what you're doing is fucked up. What are you even doing it for? True. Like playing the bad routes to see what happens, and she actually felt really bad playing the genocide route. I think it's the first time that you're supposed to recognize, like, maybe the bad routes aren't worth doing. UT's fundamental question is, what kind of person are you when there are no consequences? Right. Because the reality is with Undertale, there are no consequences. There are consequences. And the game asks you, what, do you think you're above consequences? Even when you're met with the final ending, did you think you were above consequences? And then when you say no, it berates you. Then why the fuck are you complaining? Why are you whining about it? This is what you wanted. Here it is. Your pointless, meaningless ending. Try again. The way Slug takes time to read each comment and have long-form conversations is one of my favorite parts of his brain of stunlocks. I have dysgraphia. I'm slow to process things sometimes, so having the time to write out my thoughts and have them listen to in a long-form environment means so much to me. I know I don't do it as often as I used to, right? Because I like to try and keep the flow of chat moving, right? We're trying to build the community, you know what I mean? But when we talk about things that I feel like are as important as this, I like to try and give everybody's comment time and energy and space, because I know you took the time to write it, and I feel like it's important, and I want to regard it with the importance that I feel it has. It's why I do like streams like this. They feel rare, but they also feel earned in that regard. And I'm glad when they happen. I never planned them. I didn't plan this to be today. The only thing I planned was to open with the Undertale theme because I'm normal about it. But y'all gave me the ability to get stunlocked like this, so thanks. I gotta call anyone about name that happened in this chat about Alphys' mistakes. I guess it was very bad, but it needed to happen in order for everything to come after. It doesn't make Alphys inherently evil or worthy of punishment. Thought she was doing something good and realized later that she wasn't and endeavored to be better. Yeah, I feel the same. And Alphys, like, this sentiment of punitive justice is not going to benefit anybody, right? It's why I'm an abolitionist, right? You know, jails are not a solution to anything. They're just meant to be there as punishment. They're not reformative. They're not giving anybody a capacity to do better. In the same way, punishing Alphys for what she did accomplishes nothing, even as a joke, because the reality is that she is struggling with her own self-destructive perspective because she recognizes the horrors of what she's done, and it wasn't intentional. But intent ultimately doesn't matter when you do something horrific. What matters is what you do going forward, the accountability you take, and how you try to do better. Alphys very much is dealing with her own Kara run. You know what I mean? She will always be haunted by Kara in the bedroom after Toriel leaves the pie on the floor. She will always be haunted by the horrors of what she did. But she will remain kind despite it. That's the point of that character's arc. That is why it's such a wonderful ending to her and so many others. All of them have such incredible arcs that are meant to reach everybody at different perspectives in their lives, whatever it is that burdens you, whatever it is that creates the cynicism in your heart, those characters are experiencing it as well. Hatred, self-hatred, hatred of others, apathy because everything feels pointless, a lack of self-confidence, whatever it is, those characters struggle with it. And then you as the player help them realize how to push past it. And in doing so, help you as the player understand how to contend with it in your own life. It's why it's the best game ever fucking made. Hard agree. I'd want people to have as much time in the world to eventually realize their mistakes and pain they've caused without being able to harm other people in the process. Very crucial how Toriel still says, now, Asgore, you fumbled our relationship, fumbled the kingdom, fumbled even yourself. We are not friends. But she's still there standing with him, realizing even he deserves forgiveness. She forgives him, but she doesn't need to be around him. You know what I mean? And there was a sentiment yesterday that they needed to get back together to have this nice little bow on the story, that they need to get back together to be able to have this bookend to it. And that's just not realistic. And it's what I mean when I say the game is not naive, right? The game is not naive. There are consequences for your actions. There's consequences for Asgore's action, right? There are consequences. Exactly, Mubot. Yeah, Toriel, Fluttershy did not want to get back with Asgore. Exactly. Yes, correct, Mubot. That there are consequences for your actions, and that it doesn't mean you can't be kind in spite of them. You see Asgore trying his best in the end, and I love that. I think it's great, but he also has to deal with the burden of what he did. And so the notion that he and Toriel are just going to get back together and it's all going to be fine is very, very foolish and misses the point entirely. Holding back on starting Deltarune just because only 2 of the 7 chapters are out and I don't like waiting. Wait, it's 7 chapters? Oh my good God. Well, console releases have a bit of additional content, but I don't think any of the bonus things are shared between any of them. Huh. Video game equivalent of a Song of Ice and Fire series. Thank you for the Spippy Stremch. Funny that Dark Souls, a game many would say then and now is about completionism and darkness and hardness, is actually really about hope and understanding that you can either keep things going as they have, or find a new way to avoid what has happened in the past. It's not just a nihilistic game, and I don't like that it might be seen as such, although people are able to think of that as they like, of course. I've never thought about it that way because I really don't know enough about it to see it through that perspective, but I feel like Dolly has conveyed as much to me. And maybe that's also what Tobias Foxworth was trying to convey, that, man, some of y'all really don't have media literacy. So I'll make a game with baby level media literacy so maybe you can understand it. And unfortunately, people still didn't, but hopefully they do now. Chapters are even both on an end on a ridiculous cliffhanger. Sans will forever be Kiryu to me. That makes me really happy. Hey, Sluggy Hot Bass, hello. Yeah, I'm yapping about Undertale. Hi, Neuro Riot, welcome in. Well, destroying a person's humanity does not increase the net amount of humanity in the world. True. It's my birthday today. Happy birthday, Bass. Happy Bass. Happy bassing birthday. Hello, hi, happy birthday. I'm doing a yappy stream today. Well, now that I think about it, Dark Souls and Undertale are both a lot more similar than I would have expected. Both are essentially games about hope and about learning to let go. Both of them have been completely misunderstood by the wider internet. Again, a lack of media literacy. No, Asgore, you killed children. Well, Gloopy Boy. Hi, True Ender King. I am a Gloopy Boy. It's true. I'm a Gloopy femboy. Hi, I'm a Slug. Well, welcome in. Hi. Science deserves that go tussy. And even, here's the thing. I guess I'll yell about this now. I think Toriel is probably one of the most misunderstood characters from this game. Listen, I get it. I get it. I'm catching up. Well, I'm about to yell about Toriel, so I get it. The goat's hot, right? Goat mom hot. I get it. But to have such an important character, such a profound representation of patience and warmth and kindness reduced to a sex object fully misses the fucking point. And I think the majority of people who walked away from the game with this sort of surface level appreciation for it and ultimately just a fetishization of the characters, be that Toriel or be that fucking Muffet, whoever it is, I think misunderstands what the characters are there to convey, what the point of the game is. Like, I get it, but there's so much more than that. And I think, not to call you out or belittle you or anything like that, I'm just kind of reiterating this point because I wanted to say it during the playthroughs, but I also didn't want to get stun locked during the playthroughs because I wanted to experience the game. I wanted to say it, but this sentiment that Toriel is there to be objectified in a sexual capacity, it's the same as Sans is the funny Megalovania skeleton. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I get the joke, I guess, but like, I don't know. I feel like it misses the point. I feel like it fucking misses the point. I feel like it fucking misses the point. And it frustrates me a little. Forgive someone from a distance. Sometimes that distance is very important. It's the only way you can truly understand the consequences of what you've done sometimes. Also something I didn't notice until you got to Azrael's. All of the big super moves have names a child would come up with while playing Pretend, which made me extra sad. I also loved it because they were very much things that I would come up with for names for my moves. What I could see very few people in the fandom spaces I visit actually make them get back together. I would hope so. I think even the person with the most basic media literacy could understand that they are not meant to be back together. Storyline of Alphas is deeply meaningful to me, though it's not due to something I've done. There are just things that haunt me that won't just go away, even after breaking the barrier and seeing the sun. Alpha still carries the trauma, but she carries that trauma into the good ending regardless. And she wants to do better. She will let them show the things she's done in the sun. She will show them in the light of day, and she will be better with them. Time for me to go out on an errand. Have a good rest of stream again. I'm so happy to have experienced this game with you, Slug, and the community. Bye, Damskis. Have a good day. Well, Dark Souls is about accepting that things change and that a refusal to do so will drain you and everything you've created as it falls apart. I didn't know that. I've never played Dark Souls because I don't go to Souls games, but I'm glad. Well, I would co-sign that very much. Dark Souls is about hope and determination, allowing you to overcome seemingly impossible challenges. Try to make the world a better place. It's not as cynical as many think it to be from a surface level read. That makes me happy. I'm glad, genuinely. He's almost caught up. Scatter, true. I'm full of media literacy. I learned to listen to everything Ness said in Undertale. So true. Well, people do not understand Dark Souls at all. It's a very hopeful game about cooperation, humanity banding together and supporting one another. Giving people a difficult path tends to tempt people a bit too much to focus on that experience, not the story at all. And I feel like that's what I mean. That's why I feel like the secondary route in Undertale is meant to kind of reiterate that point in its own, potentially. I fucked up a ton. All I can do is be better going forward. Some relationships don't get fixed, and that's actually okay. Some are broken beyond repair. Maybe you can be friends. Maybe you can't. It's okay. You'll make new ones. You'll find new people. And you'll have the things you learned from those experiences. What matters is what you do going forward. And the capacity to forgive is incredibly brave and incredibly powerful and incredibly difficult. That's why that game is so challenging. The concepts it deals with are simple, but magnanimous. Hi, Mama Hen. I haven't actually played the Dark Souls games, but from what I've seen and from Elden Ring, I do think there's a lot of hope in the settings. And very dark and hopeless. Your mission is ultimately try to fix things. 100% she's so much more. Also, I have a fervent hate for the hard makes good mentality of some people about Souls-like. Sure, I it's why I've never subscribed to it. And why I resent the fandom. Tutorial might honestly be a referendum on active versus pacifism. I could see that. Not going into detail, but as someone who had to break off a friendship due to a kind of betrayal very recently, I very much understand how Toriel feels about Asgore. The betrayal of what he has done will make it so that they can never really be around each other, but she can see he is trying to fix himself. Right. She can't be there for that, because so long as she's there, he's not going to. He needs to be alone to figure it out. Truly. He needs to be on his own to truly figure it out. And she recognizes that. The difficulty is important, but it's not the point for me. It's just that they're to add emphasis and tension to the gameplay. That I can understand. To me, there are two Toriels. Toriel from Undertale and Toriel from Porn. They are separate characters, and I appreciate them for different reasons. Honestly, this is my take on porn of characters in general. I think that's valid. I get what you're going for. I don't know if I necessarily subscribe to the same mindset, but I get it. I get what you're going for, and I think it's valid. Toriel is important to me. She gives you your very first lesson on being kind. Encourages you to be the best you can be, which makes the Heartache fight hit so fucking hard. True. Toriel and Sans have both fallen victim to reification. They're incredibly strong characters that people simplify down to their most surface level, e.g. most marketable aspects. Sans, it's everything around Megalovania. For Toriel, it's seeing her as a sex object. Right. Hi, Slug, same thought. Right. Exactly. And it frustrates me, to say the least. Would reductionism be the right word? I think that's a valid word for it. A lot of the jokes in the fandom made don't get the point. In itself, having a fandom kind of misses the point of leaving the game alone. And I'll say this is not something that is unique to Undertale, right? The jokes that you see in a fandom in reference to different characters, different concepts, typically are built around missing the point. One that I remember very, very clearly, and I remember it making me mad at the time and not really having the eloquence to figure out why. But for Gurren, in that there is an image of Kamina, Simone, Rossio, and Keaton. And it shows them as who they are, right, at their endpoints in the series. And one for Kamina is died a kissless virgin. And Keaton, it's died a kissless virgin. And for Simone, it's wanders the wasteland as a smelly homeless person. And for Rossiu, Giga Chad, who rules the empire and is respected by all. And it's like, you look at something like that, and I'm like, did you even watch the show? Like, did you get it at all? Like, try again. Can you try again? And I think it's that. It's that a meme is meant to be just this surface level, conveyable fucking understanding of a piece of media that people share with everybody. But like, it shows that you don't have even the surface level understanding of the piece of media that you consumed. When people reduce Gurren to big drill fighting spirit, like, yeah, I get it. And at least that's a surface level understanding of it, but there's so much more going on there that I wish people understood. And the same can be said for Undertale, right? That these memes and jokes that people latch onto because they're easy to consume totally miss the fucking point. Toriel's a mom before she's a MILF, and even then it's oversimplifying. I think so. Even reducing her to simply being a mom, right? Which is what I think you're getting at. Is oversimplification of what her character is meant to convey. No judgment to anyone when I say this, I just can't bring myself to perceive Toriel as a sex object even a little, like Sidon from Breath of the Wild. Kindness and positivity she provides means so much to me that I see her as a beacon of hope, and I can't look at her in a different way. And I think that's valid. I get it. I understand. I hate people who kind of just assume pairing is a natural good ending. Now, people can grow apart, and that's better for both of them. It is a symptom of a heteronormative white supremacist society that applies those mindsets and those concepts as this sort of default position that people I don't think themselves are even conscious of, that they don't even realize they're doing it. And I think that's why so many people fall into that mistake of believing that's going to solve things. I mean, it's fed to us, right? It's fed to us in every other piece of media. Every movie from the fucking 90s and 2000s ends that way, right? Wow, this guy or this girl were an absolute piece of shit to the other one. Well, But they get married at the end, says the guy gets the girl because that's the way it goes. You know what I mean? Like, to think that's how it should end is just brutally misunderstanding the point. As a formerly repulsed ace person, seeing Toriel be sexually Toriel be sexualized above and beyond representation of her kind of caring person obviously bothers me. She's not a sex object. She's a woman and has her own agency. She chooses to be patient and kind in hopes that you will learn to be patient and kind. She doesn't need to be dominated or possessed by a man in order to have value. She can just be silly, goofy, and make jokes with her platonic friends. Exactly. Her existence is not defined by whether Asgore gets her goat Ussie or whether Sans gets her goat Ussie. You know what, right? You know what I mean? Maybe it's just that she's her own character. It also didn't need to be a multi-episode, multi-book saga to get its points across. Undertale, I mean. Oh, true. I get what you mean about Toriel, no judgment to those that like her, but after getting to know her and the rest of the character, I could not see them in sexual nature without feeling like I was violating our relationships. And I get that. And I'm not going to argue with anybody because I don't think arguing that you should be able to sexually see somebody is a thing worth doing. I think that's a weird thing to argue. I would advocate for myself and say that I would say I'm a hypersexual person. But I also understand there's a time and a place, and there is a perspective to which you can bring that ideology, and also a perspective to which you can't. I do like the sentiment that they can be separate characters that Aposhkat did. I like that a lot, actually. So it's about looking at the people who previously made the world better, desperately clinging to control and harming the world around them, and hitting them with a really big sword until they move on. Yeah, that makes sense. Jokes are something enjoyable. Responding from mobile can't go into much depth without your message, but your base being. Toriel is a representation of warmth and kindness. Sure, she's pretty, but she's caring mother figure. She guides you, teaches you some important lessons, and is very deep as her own character, yeah. So I tend to avoid fandoms and community center at a single game. They become about consuming the media and creating more media for each other to consume, and not about understanding and appreciating what they've experienced. And I think that is fundamentally what happened to Undertale, as it has happened to so many other things. And I don't think it sullies the material, but I do think it can make people afraid of it, as it did for me and so many of you for so long, because it's intimidating when you see that as the takeaway for a lot of people. Media for the sake of consumption is pointless, and Undertale is far beyond that. And I think I'm glad that people are able to understand that. If it wasn't then when they experienced it, it's now. Think fandom is fine. Please, 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 X Infinity don't absorb media through its fandoms that ends shows. True. I think so too. I think you have to have a level of media literacy to be able to participate in fandom. Find myself on something like Toriel. There are pieces of my history I'm trying to clean up. I have to move forward and accept that I can't have what the past was, but the future looks even better because of it. The past can still hurt, but the future can be better. I think that's the entire point. You know, Max? I think that's the entire point. Because again, that's what I was trying to convey. All these characters have hurt and a brokenness about them that carries them into the future. That they carry with them into the future, rather. But I think that they can move past and be kind in spite of. And that's Asgore's, right? That you can't make the past the same. You can't make things the way they were. But the better future can be better. And I think that's Asgore's trauma, which resonates with somebody like you. I also like that Toby Fox did call the fandom's treatment of her out in the finale. He did essentially say straight to the camera, she is a motherly character, not someone for you to date. True. It was very silly. Yoko literally kisses comment. That's not the point. But give me a slug hug, love sludge. Hi, Fuzzy Buzzy. A lot of fandom jokes are also intentionally irreverent of the themes because it's funny to people that watched it. Not because it's an accurate summation of the characters, but the context is lost through 10,000 reposts on Twitter, 4chan, and iFunny, whatever they tell. The mention of them perfectly inspires those jokes. I've done this to people's faves and got chewed out for it, and I get it now. That's a very apt way of describing it, Bats, because that is what happens. And I can understand why people get frustrated with it, because I get frustrated with it. Because what might have been funny to me at a time, because it totally disregards what the actual context of the material is becomes taken as actual verbatim canon through a misunderstanding of the media. I think there might be some selection bias around how Toriel is presented or viewed. Your playthrough with Dolly is genuinely the first time I've ever heard anyone describe Toriel as attractive like that. That I don't think is necessarily the case because the game does it at the end. The game shows it to you at the end where Tori is like, remember the time Frisk flirted with me? Where I think it does that because, as Dolly conveyed to me, the original first part of the game was released as an alpha, right? As a beta that people were able to play. And in the aftermath of that, people were really fucking normal about Toriel. And so I think it was done. I think people had that takeaway with Toriel, right? And I think it built upon itself in that regard. And I think both things can exist at the same time. Don't get me wrong. I believe both things exist at the same time. I think one shouldn't supersede the other, or rather, I think the other should supersede one. And I think it's really easy to lose sight of it. My view on Toriel is based on my age and seeing them as a contemporary as opposed to an older factor. True. Undertale never had the alt route. Someone describing it would be describing a pretty classic creepypasta, and then the main character pulled out a real knife and killed the boss in one hit. I think that's the point, though. I think that's why it's conveyed that way, because it is like playing an actual creepypasta in the actual game. For clarity, I'm not judging anyone. Get your jollies however you want. I'm just not going to get it or like it in all cases. Right. So there's a meme or joke doesn't mean I gotta find it funny or laugh. Right. You go to Eep, have a fun rest of Undertale talk, everybody. Bye, Kala. Thanks for hanging out. That's why whenever I want to experience a piece of media, I don't really interact with this fandom at all. It's one of the best pieces of advice I can give because intentionally or otherwise, they will ruin it for you. Whether it's through spoilers, whether it's through framing a misunderstanding of a character in a way that you probably shouldn't see them until you've had the opportunity to experience them on your own first, it's probably better off just to avoid it that way. My experience with fandom says is that I don't seek them out, so sometimes stumble upon them and take a look around and leave. That's kind of what I'm doing with Undertale. I don't intend to stay. I have a connection to the game myself, and I will foster that for the rest of my life. But I don't intend to stick around the fandom in the capacity that the fandom identifies itself. You know what I mean? That's not my intention, and that's not anything I intend to do. Alphys makes it clear she also sees the appeal of the queen. True. Difference between being horny about a character and making them a subject, and I feel like a lot of people on the internet don't get that. That's very well said too, Archmage. There is a fucking difference. I wouldn't have been able to fully grasp and enjoy Steven Universe had I experienced it through the fandom. Fandom is what killed it for me, believe it or not. Also the meandering nature of the show, but around season 3. Slug is caught up. I'm here. Can you really say you enjoy media if you don't see anyone beyond the surface level themes? /S True. Hi, chat. I'm caught up. Hello. Hi. I caught up. Hi. We need to have some levels of resource extraction from fandoms to fund fandom deprogramming. Call it phantom tax. Boo! Also, thank you for the Spip and Strumch. Well, welcome to the present. Thanks for letting me yap, chat. What time is it? 3:15? How long have I been live? About 2 hours. Might be a really, really short stream today. Welcome to the Caught Up. Hello there. Nice to see you in the present. Hi, Slug. I hate to just end it so early, but it also feels like playing anything or doing anything after all of this feels, I don't know, hollow. And I don't want to do that. I think I would like to let this be an epilogue of sorts. Let's sit on it. Yeah, I'm gonna go sit on it. Yeah, great. There you go. There's one slugism for the day. Well, Times currently looks at watch right now. True. Welcome to the present, Sluggy. Thank you for letting us experience Undertale with you and having this talk afterwards. Oh, wait.
Welcome
PTS
to the present, Sluggy. Thank you for letting us experience Undertale with you and having this talk afterwards. I am really glad this is the way I experienced this story, and I know a lot of other people also feel the same way. Yapilogue 34 love.
Thank you, Nona. I'm glad. I'm glad I was able to share it with all of you. Thank you for the 15 months. I can't believe it's been 15 months. That's... Gosh, Nona. Well, where does the time go? Thank you for the resub, and thank you for the kind words. Thanks for the birthday wishes, everyone. I had to run real quick because my smoke alarm went off and the batteries ran out. I hope you're okay. How could you follow up Undertale? You can't. You don't need to. Really. And I think, 2-day break is the best way to come back to stream and do something different. Fraska, thank you for gifting us up to Maya. Thank you. Who's excited for Yakuza 5?
Fraska gifted a tier 1 sub to Maya.
Thank you, Fraska. Thank you.
They have given 17 gift subs in the channel.
Let me make sure I don't miss anything. A decompression stream to discuss stuff is a perfect way to wrap up this game. I think so too. Let's coast on that Undertale boon catharsis stream. I didn't intend it to be, but that's definitely how it went. Sluggy on slightly bigger screen computer. Truly was an underlog or maybe an upper tail. True. You had a longer stream yesterday. I had a long stream yesterday. I did not sleep because I stayed up all night being normal. My cat is not doing well today. He's having a senior day, so I kind of do. Part of why I was also considering not streaming today. So I do think ending early is the best call. I stepped into the next unsub person on site, and then Maya spoke. Well, thank you, Fresca. I really appreciate it. Congrats on your sub, Maya. This is great. I know everyone had a lot of feeling and thoughts to convey about this game, so thanks for giving us space to gush and discuss. I hope it was cathartic for you too, because this was cathartic for me. Last night was incredibly cathartic for me, and this feels like a nice little victory lap for it. It feels like I was able to truly express the thoughts that I was too raw and too unconsolable yesterday to properly convey on stream. That I've had a lot of time to think about and formulate. So I hope it was cathartic for you, and because it was for me too. Excited to do like a Rhino Beetle and launch Slug into the Sun in Digimon. It's true. That an opportunity to experience it first in a vacuum on my own without much outside influence and sitting with it on my own without really discussing it with others. I'm even more glad that I get to re-experience it with you in this community. To help re-solidify my love of the game and fully examine what I love about it. I'm glad. I'm glad I was able to bring that for y'all. Feels right, very much so. I think this was the best game I've ever played on stream or otherwise. And I'm going to be really normal about it for the rest of my life. And I know Dolly had to go. I don't think she's here still. But I'm really grateful to her for allowing me to experience it in the capacity that it did. I'm really grateful for y'all to have experienced it alongside me. And I'm excited for what comes next. And I'm going to hold the lessons it conveyed deep in my heart for the rest of my life. And I hope you do too. Don't forget to be kind, chat. Never lose sight of that kindness. And never lose sight of your hopes and dreams. With that said, I'm going to find somebody to raid. Actually, I think I know who I want to raid. A friend of ours is on the front page today, I believe. I believe a friend of ours is on the front page of Twitch today. So I do think I want to go give them a hello. Yeah, Doodle. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Velvet, I love you. Well, I think we'll go raid Doodle. They are on right now. So I think that's a good place to send this off to. But let me open my Firefox really quick. Watch Twitch. Make sure this isn't open over here. There we go. Poggers. Where are they? There they are. Front page day. Poggers. They love the friendly faces. It'll be a good place to crash into. I think so too. Yeah, they've been live for about half an hour. I think this is a good place to pass off to. It truly was a front page. Well, you could find them if you go to the front page. True. I haven't ever watched Doodle yet. Doodle is a very good friend of mine and Dolly's. They're the third Powerpuff queer. They're the green one. I'm the blue one. Dolly's the pink one. They're the green one. They're a lot of fun. I would say they're a lot more reserved than Dolly and I. And I think that's a good place to, at least on their own stream. On our streams, they're fucking unhinged. But on their stream, they're a lot more well behaved. And I think they're a good person to pass off to. They them pronouns. I believe they're they any, but yeah, they them. Most of the time. Doodle is the best artist, amazing artist. There's incredible setup and also wonderful. Yeah, their setup is really interesting. Their art style is really, really cool. But I think they're a good place to pass off this kind of cathartic stream to. I don't know what to do the raid message for. What raid message do we do? The way they put it is and I think is to default to they, but any is okay. Yeah. Did you just finish Undertale earlier today? Was today just chatting, by the way, and you beat it yesterday? I beat it yesterday. I beat it yesterday, and then I was really fucking normal about it all night. Doodle. I read Doodle after that. Velvet. I was really fucking normal about it. The front pager. That's pretty good. And somebody came. I feel like they won't understand the reference. Well, I'm so happy. I spent all night looking into it. Slug, can you give the snail a plush? The snail a plush. Well, what do you mean? Like make it a plush in the background? Well, a push. Oh, I cried. I sobbed. I sobbed all night after I learned the names of songs. I've been listening to the music all day. Well, my teeth are being weird. Slug raid fills you with determination. Whoa. I do kind of like that. Probably because I have brain rot. Whoa. Really good. I watched the playthrough a little bit when it came out, and I was like, oh yeah, this is crazy. I'm very fucking obsessed with it. A plush snail would be cute. You mean a push? Gotcha, Shiny. I see what you're saying. What? Wait, hold on. Shiny's desire to see you hit the end of your spot by the end of stream fills you with determination. The snail made it to the end. Well, the snail was fulfilled with determination. Well, thunder snail. Well, I think that's really cute. Well, I'm so normal. I'm so normal about this game. Like video games. Yeah. You and Dolly are literally bratty and catty. I know, and I love it. I love it so much. I love it so much. Whoa, story of Thunder Snail. Oh, that's why it's called Thunder Snail, because it sounds like Undertale. Whoa. What do we do for the raid message chat? I don't know. Joe Velvet, the art? Velvet, did you see the bratty catty art of me and Dolly? Did you see the bratty catty art of me and Dolly? I love when they did the voices in sync. Oh my god, it was so fun. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. I like determination. I saw the art of Fishy Stick, I think, on Dolly's stream. Yeah, I think so. I love it so much. The town inside me. The snail fills you with determination. The slug. Okay, we'll do that one. The slug raid fills you with determination. And then we'll do rally. We'll do rally. We'll do that one. Can you DM me just in case? Yeah, I'll DM you after stream, Velvet. The slug raid fills you with determination. Sparkle. We'll make this one. If you don't have my emotes, that's okay. You can do this. You can do that. Flash raid doodle sprout. Flash raid doodle sprout. Also, I need raid music. I need raid music. Last goodbye. We'll do last goodbye, even though it's not the last goodbye, chat. I'll see you on Friday, and probably even tomorrow at Dolly's. I'll probably even see you tomorrow or Thursday. Who knows? But I'll play last goodbye because we gotta go. I'm leaving. I gotta go. And I'm gonna upload this VOD as Undertale Yap Epilogue. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'm glad I did stream. I gotta go rest. I gotta go take care of my kitties, make sure everything's okay. But I'll be back on Friday. We'll be doing back to the Yapilogue, yeah. We'll be back to normal on Friday. We'll be doing some Kiryu Kazuma Yakuza 5. I love you all so much. And I love this game so fucking much. Thank you for experiencing it with me. Thank you for spending your day with me. I'll see you on Friday. Please go check out Slice tomorrow if you got nowhere else to go. And have fun with Doodle. Have fun cheering Doodle on. Front page is a big deal. That's scary. It's cool. It's fun. Go fill them with determination. I'm going to go ahead and start the raid. So let's get out of here. I love you. I'm going to hit the raid button. I love you. I'll see you Friday. I love you. Bye. Bye.